to go. I don't go no more. From now on, everything's gonna be alright. Don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. Don't ever leave me.
Look what I found walking out. Cadillac SRX. Got a panoramic. Dual glass. Guess we're gonna get this one here. We ain't gonna leave away empty-handed. I just gotta get my tools. I just did a walkthrough before I bring my tools. It's a 2010. I guess too many people ain't hipped on these here. Cause if they would have been, this here would have been gone. It hit the yard on the 15th. This is November the 1st. So that's been about 15 days ago. Let me go get my tools. We'll start pulling. Finally got the glass out. Now I gotta cut the frame of the roof out. It ain't ever took me this long to take no roof out. This one here was rough. Got the drain tools, got the front, here's the back. I'm gonna have to piece together something. The controls. When I cut this frame out, I'll be good to go. Where the roof skin, I'm just gonna cut it probably from here around. I just got the roof skin out.
Much later.
Alright, this video here, we'll be installing the SRX panoramic sunroof in this here. I already got a sunroof. I'm hoping it's gonna fit. If it don't, we're gonna have to use a CTS, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna fit. But I haven't did no measurements. Y'all know I'm working on my shop now, so all my tools, everything I need is put up. So I'm gonna have to go try to find the stuff that I might need for us doing this panoramic. But I got some of the stuff here, like pry tools, because that's gonna be my first step. Is removing all the trim, so I can get this top off. So let me go ahead and start doing that. We'll get this job going. Here's all the trim that go around the top. I've been putting all my screws and the stuff that came off the trim in a Ziploc bag. And you can see this top been redone before. Put it over the old top. Guess we'll take the old top off first, then we'll remove we'll take the new top off, then remove the old top. Scratch that. I forgot I had a sunroof in it. We'll remove the sunroof. Guess we'll take the headliner and all that stuff down. We gotta take the trim down as well in order to get the headliner. It'll just bend away. removed. You can see here. One good thing, I got my drain lines already ran. Pretty much the power. I'm gonna leave this up because when I cut the top out, it's gonna come out with the top. So I'm used to trying to take that down. Let me show you the roof. Aftermarket roof. All right, we'll remove the top now. Top removed. Where the replacement top. I guess this is the original top here. Still gotta take it off. But here's the one that was on top of that top. I probably used that as the pattern for my canvas. Once I take this top off, I gotta get this padding off as well. That'll probably be a task there. Trying to remove this top. It's coming off, but it's taking me a little bit of time because it's padding, which I don't have to remove all of it because I'd be cutting out the majority of it. So I just cut that out when I cut the melt off. It's not as bad as most top seals up under it. For rust, it's just surface rust there. It'll clean up pretty good. I need to take this plastic piece back here that hold the vinyl on. You wrap the vinyl around it. I need to take it off. It got rivets in it. I'm gonna drill these rivets out with a drill bit here. That's all you gotta do. I'm gonna have to take some CA glue and glue both pieces back together because it was cracked in the middle. But I got the top all cleaned up. Like I said, I won't worry about this middle part because all this gonna get cut out, most of it. Let me get the panoramic out and I'll show you the panoramic we're going with. Take it to this other side and show it to you. It's a little surface rust here now. That A-pillar somewhat rusted, but I'm gonna put some rust mort on it, treat it. Here's the roof. Came out of Cadillac SRX, I think of 2014. I started to have second thoughts on if it's gonna fit or not because I need about 60 inches because it's 60 inches from the front up here to the back glass. And my problem is these motors sit in the back and they sit a ways from the glass, about 8.5 inches. So let me flip it over. I'm gonna show you what I might gotta do because I'm gonna have to do a lot of trimming around the edges, sort of sit down. Let me turn it over and I'll show you. Here's the back side. Now, all this here, I would have to cut off because if I don't, I won't have room for the motor back on the back side. Hopefully I do have room once I cut it off. So I'll be cutting all this off the plastic, which you don't really need that mounting point because it's sturdy with the other nuts. Well, not nuts, but the bolts. Then I have to cut this metal off. It's 2 different layers. See, I need this layer to overlap the existing roof, but I really don't need this, so I have to cut that off from here. And plus, I don't have much room to play with on the sides because when I cut it out, it was double metal. It was the only way to cut it. So you see my mounting points here. I have to keep those, trim it off some. Let me take the glass out, then I'll show you. I guess we'll start cutting. See, I have to cut this here off, this front, and get my Sharpie. Then I also have to cut this part here off. I mark around here. And you can see I don't have much room to play with on this edge. So I just need just a little bit sort of overlap. There's just the metal on the car. But I gotta keep it on the outside of this where the boat gonna have to mount up to. So I'm gonna cut right along that edge there, all the way down. Cause I gotta cut that metal and this metal and leave this metal. Oh, let me see if you can see it. Got a shadow going. So I gotta cut this metal here and that metal. Say this bottom layer. Alright, this is what we got. You can see it's hard trying to get this cutting out through this metal here because it's 2 different layers that I gotta cut. So I found it much easier just to cut this top layer first. Then once I get it up, then I go back and cut this second layer. Here's the plastic piece that I cut off the front of it. I used a plastic plexiglass bit for the jigsaw. And I also finished up over here. I just gotta take I'm gonna take a flap this here and clean up them edges, sort of lay flat. Then I gotta cut something. Let's flip it over, Raw. Y'all see Raw over there?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know what it is. We hard at it no matter what's going on.
Yeah, y'all see I already done drew where I'm gonna cut this at because it's kind of lifted up on there. Cadillac SRX is lifted up on the roof, so I'm gonna cut that off so it'll be flat when I do the body work. Then I'm gonna shape this up as well. Alright, let me take care of that. Okay, I done knocked down the other side now. I'm gonna use this same flap disc and I'm gonna knock all this paint off this top side. Okay, here we go. I'll sand it down with the flap disc. Here's the metal. It took me 5 cutoff wheels to cut all this. I like to always put my skin up on the roof so I can get a somewhat visual where it needs to lay. I had trimmed this front part up a little bit more because I'm gonna have to bring it up to the front so I can have clearance for them motors in the back. The motors sit back here. Now what you want to do, you want to get you some cardboard and trace this template out of the skin. And I didn't have a piece of cardboard big enough, so I'm gonna put 2 pieces together out of these boxes here. On this template, or it's the skin, see how I had turned it over? Because if you don't turn it over, you ain't gonna be able to get no accurate trace around it because it's gonna be sitting up. So you want to turn it over. Then when you get ready to use it, we're gonna use the other side because that's gonna be the top side. I done went around the outline. Now I'm gonna do the inside. Trace the inside of it. Template cut out. You can see I wrote back right here. That's so I know when I put it on the car, this gonna go on the back side of the car. But like I said, this part here gonna lay against the roof. This gonna be showing. So what we gonna do, we gotta get a tape measure. This gonna be the front, so we'll measure it off the front. Measure, see how much we got here. And you want a half in whatever you got. For just say if you got 3 feet, you want to make it a 1.5 feet. So you'll mark your 1.5 feet right here. Then you put your piece of tape wherever your sun at, like that. Then we'll go over here into the car and I'll show you what to do next. Now on the car itself, we got to find the center, front and back. What I usually go by, you can go by the rearview mirror, also the crease on this hood. So you want to put a piece of tape center, and on the back side, pretty much the same thing. I go by the crease on the deck lid, put a piece of tape there. Front and back. This is what we're gonna use to line up our template. the tape that we put on here, we're gonna match it up with what's on the roof. And once we get it in position, like from front to back, make sure I got enough clearance for the motors in the back. I trace out my template, and that's what we'll be cutting out. Well, not necessarily. Skip that part. We won't be cutting that out because once we trace that out, we got to go inside some, just so we'll have enough room that where the skin at. Let me take it over here. So we'll have enough room, the skin, to sit down over it. We're gonna be going in just about that much on the outline. You'll get a better idea once I trace this out. Okay, now we're gonna take our Sharpie again and just trace out around the outline. You ain't gotta worry about the inside because that was just so we'll have visual of where to line it up to get the center of it. We're gonna trace out the outline. Now this line here, we're not gonna cut this line here out. We gotta come inside. Let me show you over here. Over here, we can't go too far. It'll probably be a 1/4 of an inch on the sides. On the sides, we gotta go about a 1/4 of an inch. The back, same way, but the front, we got more room to play with. See, we can leave that about an inch on the front. An inch right there might be a little lesser than an inch, so we're gonna put it about 3/4 on the front, and on the sides 1/4 of an inch. We ain't got much room to play with, so up here we'll go in about a 1/4 of an inch, do another marking all the way around, front and back. Well, not front and back, but the sides and the back and the front we'll do 3/4. We gotta cross our fingers because this is it. Once we cut it out. Now we'll get a drill bit. You want a drill bit bigger than your jigsaw blade, so your jigsaw blade big, go down in the hole. Put it on our drill here. Then we'll go over here and drill about 4 pilot holes, so we'll be able to stick our drill, not drill bit, but jigsaw bit in. Put one probably in each corner. You want to go, we're going to be cutting this line out here, so you want to go inside that line. Now we'll take our jigsaw, get some metal cutting blades, and cut this out here, the inside. Make sure you don't cut the outer markings out. I think it's a blade though, but we're gonna see what we got. top is out. I still got I'll show you on the other side. So I'm gonna remove this here. But I still gotta cut some metal. Here's the top. But I gotta cut this double metal here. I can either use my sawzall or hacksaw, or I can use the cutoff wheel from the inside. And I also got some metal back here to cut, because I know the motor, it's gonna interfere with the motors. You see, I gotta cut some of this off. Like I said, I can either use reciprocating saw, hacksaw, or the cutoff wheel. Here we go. Front cutout, also the back. See up there? There's the piece that I cut on the back. Now here's the big test. See if the skin gonna fit. I think I planned it out well. I might gotta trim some off here and now, but hopefully I don't gotta trim that off. But let's see. I know on this back I'm gonna have to put it in from the front, then slide it under this part here, because it's made. Let me show you. This lip here sticking out further than that, so I'm gonna have to slide up under that. All right, let's see what we're working with. Let me put on my gloves if I can find them. Side here. Good to go. Let me check this out. Check it out. Don't have to cut anything. Perfect planning, perfect execution. Just gotta push it down when I weld it. Back. Let's go to the other side. I think this top made for the box Chevy. For as how it's made and shaped, seems like it's shaped up perfect. All right, we're gonna remove the skin, then I'll tell you what I'm gonna do next. Next step, we're gonna take this angle grinder with a flap disc on it and grind all this down to bare metal. We're gonna probably put about a little bit past where the skin came, because we won't have to have bare metal in order to weld it to the skin. Probably it should be good enough right here, this much. Everything grinded down. I also hit where that rust was, but it's ready to be welded now. There's a little rust back there, surface rust. I'm gonna treat it, the pitted areas, with some rust mort. I'll show you what I'll be using. Then I'll fiberglass the rest of it. There was some rust here as well. Number surface rust. Some here also. But it need to be treated up in here. I had took the wire brush on the drill, cleaned it up. I cleaned up some of it with the flap disc that was on the flat areas, but the rest of it I did with the wire brush. And this is what I'll be using to treat it. I'm gonna do it overnight. Then I start the welding tomorrow morning. But this rust mort, I see them. Easy to use, just pour some in a cup and get you a chip brush or something, brush it on. That simple. Just brush it on. It's gonna turn all the pitted areas black where the rust was. That's when you know it's working. Don't take much. I'm setting up to start welding now. I'll be using this Lincoln Electric 140 weld pack. Word of advice: make sure you cover up the glass, all the glass in the interior. I put an old piece of sheet metal in the middle because them sparks be flying everywhere. If you don't cover it up, you're gonna burn the glass, also possibly the interior. If you ain't got no welding blankets, just pretty much use whatever you can. Be on the safe side. I always keep you some water around. And how I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna tack it. I'm not gonna try to weld continuous beads. I'm gonna tack it here. Then I tack some there and just going around. I put these marks here so in case this sheet metal slide back somewhere, I know where it's supposed to go. Here's the tacks. Now what I do, I just go around, filling it in a little at a time, skipping around. I done tacked it some more. Now I get this wire brush on the drill and clean up the metal some so I can get some good clean metal before I go any further. And I forgot, I didn't show you the rust areas. That's one of them. Let me show you this one. See how that rust more clean it up. Alright, let me finish. I'll clean this up, then I'll tack it some more. Don't take much. This is what I cleaned up. I still got to do this back there. All this cleaned up. I start right here. Just wanted to show you what it looked like. I'm filling it on in. Once I get it all filled in, I take my grinder with a flap disc on it, and I grind the wheels down flat. Then I take me some fiberglass filler, make that transition a lot smoother. I'm not trying to fill it up, I'm just gonna get that transition smooth with some fiberglass filler. Here's the fiberglass filler I'll be using, USC Duraglass 24030. Mixing board and the hardener. Here's the skim coat of fiberglass filler. Wiped all the way around. I also did this area here on the other side. Now we're gonna take the DA with 80 grit on it and knock that fiberglass filler down. Fiberglass filler knocked down. Now we're gonna cut some fiberglass mat strips around about this wide here to put in that seam. We'll be using this bundle fiberglass resin and the fiberglass mat by bundle. Cut them about this wide here. That ought to do it. Cut quite a few. Go all the way around. Do one more. It should do it here. Then I mix up me some resin. I gotta get a chip brush. I'm gonna use a chip brush to put it on, apply it. It's kind of windy out today. I'll mix up a little at a time. I ain't trying to mix up too much. I'm gonna go get this chip brush. Chip brush here. Put my hardener in. Should be enough. I'll put a little bit more. Get all the hardening on up. All you gotta do is get your chip brush, wipe some resin on right over that seam. Grab me a piece of fiberglass mat. take my chip brush, dab it, soak the mat and resin. That's it. Too. Let me finish this on up. Fiberglass mat and resin applied. We'll let this dry. Move to the next step. Fiberglass mat dry. Then we're gonna knock this down with the same grit, the 80 grit on the DA. Pour the cable. Now we'll wipe a skim coat of fiberglass filler. Same fiberglass filler we used before, the Duraglass. We're gonna wipe that over pretty much the whole entire section. Here's the fiberglass filler, skim coat. Now I take the same DA with the 80 grit and knock this down. Somewhat smooth. You want to do it by machine first, because if you start trying to knock it down with a hand block, you'll be working yourself to death. So take the DA and do it. This side here is knocked down. You see where all these cradles at? Those spots, they're low, but we're gonna take care of those spots on our next step. I done one half. I still got this side over here to do. Alright, let me finish that. I think we're ready for some body filler now. Let me show you the body filler. It's made by USC also. It's the USC 17000 USC grip. Silver lightweight grip filler. I'm gonna put a skim coat on it. Same way I did with the Duraglass. Here's the skim coat of body filler. Now we'll take the DA with the same 80 grit and knock this top layer of body filler off, because if you start sanding now, it'll take you forever because that top layer is pretty rough. So you want to knock that top layer off. Then we'll start block sanding. Here we go, back on it. It had rained last night, well, yesterday, so I couldn't do nothing, but sun out today, so we're gonna get back on it. I had knocked it down on that last clip with the DA. Now we're about to start hand blocking. But before we do that, we're gonna put a guide coat on it. You could either spray some flat black spray paint, or you can use a dry guide coat. I'll be using the dry guide coat today. Let me open it up and then we'll wipe some on. All right, let's get this guide coat on here. See, I'm gonna use dry because I gotta sand. I'm gonna have sand and dust anyway, so it's not really gonna matter. It's gonna be dust anyway. I like to use spray paint most of the time, especially if I'm finna wet sand. But if I'm finna dry sand, dry guide coat, I use it sometimes. Guide coat. What the guide coat gonna do is gonna show us all our low areas. Once we start blocking, going in the X pattern, we'll be using a long block. The longer the block, the better. With 80 grit. Let's put a sheet of 80 grit on our block. We're gonna go on the X pattern. Wherever you still see the dry guide coat, that means the air is still low. You gotta keep going until you see nothing but the body filler or the metal. Let me stop for a second. See this area here still low up in here. It's a spot there. All this here is good. You just gotta continue till you get it flat. Finished up with all the sanding on the top. Everything feather edged. I gotta go back and put some glaze and put up in these. There's some spots back here, right here, also on the other side. The minor imperfections. I'm gonna put some 1-part glaze and put it on those. This bundle glaze and put it 1 part. It's just some minor spots. You probably can see it here. Once I do that, I blow it off. Then I get ready and mask everything off to shoot my primer. See, I don't gotta go that extra step on this here because I'm putting some top on it. Landau pad gonna be on top of this here, and then canvas. So it's not gonna be no glossy finish. So I'm not gonna prime it, then block it again, then prime it again. I'm just gonna put probably 3 good coats of primer and go with that.
We need each other. Bring up.
Finally got it masked off. I think it took me longer to do the masking than anything. Also the wind, it wouldn't let me be, just kept on blowing the plastic everywhere. But I got it done. Ready to shoot some primer. I took some wax and grease remover and wiped it down. I was using this prep all for the wax and grease remover. This the primer I'll be using, this Regal. Direct the metal, spray gun, and this the compressor. I gotta use what I got. I ain't got the shop up, so I can get it done with what I got. I'm gonna spray, like I said, maybe 3 coats, maybe 4. Here's the primer. It's been sitting probably about 20 minutes. What I do now, I take all the plastic off. Then we'll get ready to put the glass in. What we all been waiting for. All right, y'all. I had to call Ro.
Hey man, y'all know I showed up for the task, man. Hey, check this out. I know y'all ain't seen no video in a while. Hey man, things been happening. This what been happening. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I had to call him to help me out. You know, these panoramics, they be heavy, especially this in here, trying to do it by yourself. I probably can get it down by myself, but not going back up without tearing up something. But we got it back in. It's supposed to rain tonight, so we're gonna shut it down for now. And whenever it starts raining, we'll get back on it as far as wiring it up and showing you how it operates. Y'all stay tuned. Here we go. This is a couple days later. It had rained a little bit yesterday. It didn't do too much. As you can see, the raindrops. But today, we're gonna be doing the wiring, the drain, hooking up the drain lines, which I already got the drain lines hooked up because I knew it was gonna rain. It's 4 drain lines, 2 up front and 2 in the back on each side. Now I gotta do the wiring. Oh, I didn't show y'all for us to fitment. See what I trimmed out right here, how much clearance I got. Let me take you to the back here. In the back, it was pretty much on the borderline. You can see those motors there. But we're gonna do the wiring today. And then once I get through with the wiring, I'll show you how I operate. Oh, and the shade. I gotta replace this shade because it's messed up here. But I got another SRX Panoramic that I'm gonna take the shade out and put it in this one here. Let me show you. Here's the other one. Right here. I'll take this shade out, put it in. But if it don't work, they sell them on eBay, I think about $60. Let me go ahead and wire this up. Now I'm trying to figure out where I was gonna put the switches at. I don't got room up here to put them, cause I still gotta put the light back up for the lawn. So I might put the light here, but I don't got nowhere to put the switches, so I took this front piece off the console, and I'm thinking about fabricating something where I'll just cut this out here, put it right on the side of the USB port. I think that's what I'm gonna do. What y'all think? Will it work? I'm gonna use my Milwaukee multi-tool to cut around this here. I'm thinking if I cut around this here, I can make it work. Alright, it's cut out. I still gotta shape it up, but I want to leave a little bit on it so I can shape it up. It's like a contour here. I probably put some fiberglass so I can flush that off all the way around so it'll sit flush. I don't have much room to play with, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to be careful when I cut this here. I actually got to cut without breaking it in pieces. I used the jigsaw. Took my time. But it still don't fit like it should. So what I'm gonna do to keep from breaking it, I'm gonna take my belt sander, take my time and knock some of it down. Pretty much got to sand it down so it'll fit. Now you can see what I was talking about, that contour kind of offset. So I'm gonna take some body filler or fiberglass filler, stuff it in here on both sides. I'm gonna leave the tape on there so the filler don't stick to the vinyl. Once it harden up, I pull it out and shape it up. Okay, I pretty much got it shaped up. I was using 180, also the belt sander. Now, I'm gonna take some Scotch-Brite and get them 180 scratches out. Also, I'm gonna sand up in here. Then I spray some paint on it. Think it's gonna match. Once I get it painted, I sit it back in there and glue it down. Want to make sure you scuff it up real good, because if you don't, the paint ain't gonna bond. You can see the filler that I put on it, so it'll sit flush. While I'm letting that switch dry in between coats, I've been coming over here doing the wiring. I had to extend these wires so they can run to the console, going up under the dash. So I'm plugging to right here. Here's my bezel for the console, all trimmed out. Here's the trim piece for the switches. Drop it in. Then I'm gonna take some CA glue and glue it together on the back side. It don't take nothing but a couple of seconds for it to activate once I get this glue out. Put some on this side here. That should be enough right there. All the wiring and the switch done. There's the switch. Wiring. I still got a zip time to the roof. I gotta take the roof back out because I'm gonna do the canvas top. But once I do that, I zip time to the frame here. Run down the A-pillar. Still gotta do the shade. So if y'all wanna see that video, the shade video is gonna be when I do the headliner. So I still got 2 more videos on this here, the headliner and the canvas top. Let me open it up for you. Hit this button here once. It's gonna take it round about here. I gotta hit it again and take it all the way back. See it, stop it there. Then I hit it again. It'll take it on back. Let's get on the inside. Then you also got a tilt. It's the windscreen. Let me put it on tilt. Hit it once, it'll close. Then you tilt it, I'm guessing. Hit it, yep. Hit it once again. That's the tilt. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Is it a wind or what? And then the sunshade, I still can open it, but it's not gonna close because it's messed up. Like I can open it, well, not open it but close it. See, it's closing, but I can't open it back because it ain't gonna wind itself back up. Then if I close it, see, the back ain't winding itself up, so. But I got another one, so it ain't no big deal. But this the roof here. Let me open it up one more time. Take it all the way back.
Stop. Right from the bottom to the top, from the ground up. We never stop. Right from the